Welcome to the 2025 Festival of Cinema NYC here in Queens. For our audience at home, tell us a little bit about your film, then we'll jump right into it.
So the Soviet Roswell incident is a combination of a documentary and science fiction. I call it a mockumentary, and it basically tells the story of crashed UFOs in the late 1940s in the Soviet Union and the KGB covering it up.
Where did the inspiration for this mockumentary come from?
Growing up, I loved all the extraterrestrial movies, E.T., Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Star Wars, all the sci-fi movies. I grew up on all of that. And I also love documentaries in general, historical documentaries, as well as modern-day documentaries. So I wanted to bring all of the things I love into a combined short film.
Talk to me about the writing process. When did that start? How long did it take you? And when did you know that you could move on to the next step of shooting this thing?
Yeah. I actually did this in a slightly different order than most films. I created the storyboard first. I thought of the different components of a story like this that could be told. I actually created it as if they were leaked documents with photography from those times. And then I gradually started to put the script together based on the storyboard that I already had.
Your cast. Where did you get your cast from? They're wonderful. And tell us a little bit about your locations as well.
So there is no cast or locations. It's actually all AI generated. I do the voiceovers for the cast. There are 4 different elderly KGB experts, as well as a host. The host is an AI generated voiceover, and the cast is my own voiceover with a Russian accent, converted into 4 different voices for the characters.
Talk to me about the decision of doing this AI versus using real humans.
It would have been pretty expensive to put a movie like this together, even though it's short film. There's a lot of effects, crashed UFOs in the middle of the Siberian tundra, extraterrestrial bodies being examined in the 1940s by Soviet scientists, extraterrestrial technology. It would have really cost a lot of money to put this together. And AI really helped me get it out there, tell my story without spending an enormous budget.
Using AI, did you have to use several AI tools, or did you stick with one? I mean, there's a lot of trial and error because all this is relatively brand new. So how long did it take you to really find that AI tool that you used to make this short film?
Yeah, it definitely takes multiple tools to put these kinds of things together. Like I mentioned, I created the imagery first using one tool. Sat on that for a while because the technology to create the video just came out recently, and it was a lot later than the images that I already had. But then I also used other tools for the voiceover, the sound effects, another tool for background music, and then I did traditional video editing in a software to bring it all the components together.
Was there like a lot of frustration because this technology is relatively new, and there's a lot of tools that say they could do something that doesn't really do it? So did this process take a long time? Was there a lot of frustration?
I think it's like anything else. With the real acting, you would have frustration with the takes, or maybe it didn't come out right with an actor, so you do many takes. And similar with AI, you're directing the AI to do what you want. So it doesn't come out the first time, you try it again. And then you try different tools and you try different prompts. So it is really an involved process. It's not like I can prompt the whole film and then I get a beautiful product at the end.
It is a beautiful film. What have the conversations been like from people? Have you shown this to film and other screenings?
Some people start watching it and say, wait a second, is this real? But I actually start off the whole entire film with a title screen that says mockumentary, and I explain what that means so that the audience, it's not like I'm trying to fool anyone or create some fake history. It's really done to create fun, to tell a great story, and to get people to think, blur the lines between reality and fiction.
When was that aha moment during your production that you knew that you had this?
I really was inspired by using AI in general, brainstorming with it, creating the imagery, and it really got me to think, like, how can I push the boundaries in storytelling? How do I create something that looks high budget without actually having a high budget? And as the technology evolved, and it's still evolving, I continued to push the boundaries, create new stories, and it's really a fun way to make movies.
What did you learn about yourself professionally and personally while making this film?
I learned that I like to to handle many different aspects of the filmmaking process: the script, the screenwriting, the directing, the art direction, really the sound design. It's really fun to really be involved in many of these processes.
Mockumentary. What are some of your favorite mockumentary films?
I think a lot of the documentaries that are out there are really mockumentaries. They just don't necessarily tell you the truth.
Yeah. Lastly, what does it mean to be here at Festival Cinema NYC? It's, like I said, it's a great film. It flows really well. What does it mean to be here in Queens screening this film?
I mean, it's amazing that I started this off as a hobby, and now it's a short film that people get to enjoy on a big screen. Looking forward to seeing the audience reaction to the whole film on the big screen. It's in New York City, so it's a great place to be.
What's next for you?
I have several projects aligned. I've written 2 graphic novels. One of them is an actually true story of my grandfather during the Holocaust in the Soviet Union during World War II. So I'm planning to do an animated miniseries on that project.
Tell us a little bit about that novel.
I wrote it as a graphic novel and history book. My grandfather gave an interview to the Shoah Foundation, which was founded by Steven Spielberg. It has over 50,000 surviving testimonies. So I translated his interview from Russian to English. I put it into a storyline. I worked with actual traditional artists to illustrate the story. There's over 300 panels of art in the book itself. It's now being used in school curriculum. I expanded it into an interactive virtual museum, which is free of charge, available on the website.
What's the website?
SurvivorAaronStory.com.
Tell us a little bit about your grandfather.
My grandfather and my family were from Odessa, Ukraine. The war started when he was about 12 years old. He ended up losing both his parents to forced starvation. They went through forced labor. My grandmother, who had a parallel experience, also lost family members, baby sisters, father, grandmother, and they actually met right after the war and eventually got married, and led to my birth and my existence.
Awesome. Where did they end up when they came to the States? Here in Brooklyn?
Yeah, we all came together in the late 70s to Brooklyn, New York, and luckily my grandmother's still with us. She'll be 93 in a few
Mazel
weeks.
tov, mazel tov. What is the name of the novel so we can direct our viewers to it?
The graphic novel and history book is called Survivor, Aaron's Story.
Awesome. Lastly, what's your website? Where can we follow your successes?
You can check out my YouTube channel. It's Rabbit Vortex or at Rabbit Vortex. And I have a similar channel on Facebook, which has some of the imagery I spoke about. And I'm on all the social media platforms under my name, Alex Teplish. So you can check me out there too.